sunny city of Edmonton. We are so pleased to have you joining us after a fantastic and historic performance by Canada at the World Cup. Here at the Expo Centre, we have a showdown between two teams in the middle of the CEBL's Western Conference, the Saskatoon Mamba and the Edmonton Stingers. Now, these two teams just battled one another earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Stingers came out on top. For some analysis on whether or not that will happen again, let's throw it over to our commentators, Grayson Knudsen and Dave Tribute.
Awesome, thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate that. Quite a shootout, Dave, in Saskatoon the other day. It was 115-108, a victory for the Stingers in that one.
An uncharacteristic shootout from a Stingers point of view. They kind of, if you will, they stung the Mamba playing their own style of basketball there, hoping for a very entertaining game today on a rainy Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely, everybody outside coming inside, and let's heat things up. Let's take a look at some of the stats for these two teams heading into the contest.
Absolutely.
There's a look at the team stats for the game as they're popped up on our screen. It's Saskatoon with a slight edge in terms of points for on the season, a slight edge too in terms of three-point percentage and rebounding as well. But overall, Dave, there's not really a lot to choose between these two teams, is there?
There isn't a ton to pick other than a couple of things that will stand out. And while the three-point shooting percentage looks close, the Stingers are second last in the CEBL with three-point attempts. So while the production is good when they shoot it, they're not generating those kinds of shots that'll give them that kind of production. One of the reasons why there is a differential in points scored.
Let's throw things over now to Sarah Ryan, who's standing by with Stingers head coach Jordan Baker.
All right, that's right. I'm here with Coach Baker. Coach, on Wednesday, a really high-scoring affair in Saskatoon. Are you expecting the same kind of storyline today?
I mean, hopefully not, but they're a talented team. They put the ball in the basket really well. So for us, we're trying to keep them under 90 points and try to just have some fun on offense.
Absolutely. One of the players on the Mamba that you were definitely familiar with from last season, Devontae Bandu, obviously doing very well for them. How do you keep a player like that off the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think, he's going to find opportunities to be successful. I think for us, we just got to make him as difficult as possible. Force him to be a volume guy instead of a high efficiency guy. And then we got to, clear the glass, make sure they only get one look at it.
Yeah, speaking of, very quick transition last game, 27 points for you guys on the fast transition. How critical is that to Stingers' success, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we want to score in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock, and that makes it's hard to do when you're pulling the ball out of your own mesh. So for us, we're trying to, create steals, get some defensive rebounds, and get out and run in the first 8 seconds.
Excellent. All right, well, good luck with that today, Coach.
Thank you.
You are watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
Hello, Canada. Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian Goose.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're going to have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is the trail, this is the real, and all that I gotta say, I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away, what a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Just a couple moments away from tip-off here at the Edmonton Expo Center between the Mamba and the Stingers. Dave, you've identified some keys for tonight's game presented by CDIC. First, we'll take a look at the visiting Mamba.
Absolutely. 3 keys for the Mamba. One of them is to play at pace. They love to play a high pace and score at will. They know who they are. Edmonton matched their pace last game. We heard Coach Baker talking to Sarah in the pregame. They're looking to do it again today. Can they beat them twice at their own game here? They need to spread the attack. They've got on their roster right now, they got 7 players averaging double figures. They also like to spread the floor physically, and we'll see that in the highlight pack about Jaden Bediako, and what he does for them in the middle when they can spread the floor. And thirdly, they've got to guard the yard. Can the Mamba play enough defense on the road to grab a win here and contain Edmonton in those key moments in here when they try to get a run?
Dave, next for the home Stingers, their keys to the game presented by CDIC.
Absolutely. They got to value the ball. They lead the CEBL in turnovers, and they've just got to clean that up, plain and simple. They've got to fight for your right. They need to bring the urgency of a team grasping for a playoff position here. They've got to fight their way into the playoffs right now, and they've got to bring it every game for the rest of the year. And another musical cue, who are you? They got to find their defensive identity here and really figure out who they want to be down the stretch.
Excellent keys. We'll see if they play a role here today. Now it's time for the starting lineups here at the Hive at the Edmonton Expo Center. Take a look at the starting 5. Saskatoon with Jalen Williams, Tavian Dunmartin, Devontae Bandu, Jaden Bediako, and Tavian Jones. They're starting 5. Trey King, Emmanuel Bandamel. For Edmonton, Nick Hormsby, Mason Boursier, and Scotty Lindsay, the flamethrower shooter, is in their starting 5 here today. Now, Dave, you have outlined a player to watch from each team. We'll start with the visiting Mamba, and it was Jaden Bediako, as you alluded to earlier on.
Jaden Bediako, since arriving back with the Mamba this season, they're 6-1. He's an impact guy right away. The only loss in that 6-1 run is to these Stingers last game. He's averaging 16 and 10. He's their consistent piece in the middle. We can see from the highlight pack when they can spread the floor and get him isolated one-on-one, he's absolutely devastating. But he can be distracted and disrupted and get into some foul trouble. So the Stingers can get inside his reach a little bit here. They have a chance to get him on the bench with some foul trouble, but he's absolutely the perfect piece for the Mamba coming into this game.
And for Edmonton, you want to focus on Nick Hornsby today, Dave. Why is that?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, he's a culture keeper. Since his arrival back with the Stingers, they were going through some things that looked like maybe some chemistry issues, and he's just brought stillness and calmness to the Stingers. Not only that, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife statistically. If you look at his stat line, you say, wow, you know, it's only 6 assists, it's only 4 rebounds, it's only 12 points. But there are key moments, and he's the leader. He really is the glue guy for the Stingers.
Does a few things that don't necessarily show up on the old stat sheet.
Absolutely.
There's a look at the two players head-to-head stats, shooting exactly even in terms of field goal percentage at 62, which is pretty remarkable. Obviously some more assists with Nick having the ball a little bit more, but those double-digit rebounds for Bediako, that is a major impact for this Mamba side.
They had him playing at the 5 spot in small ball against these Mamba in the last game, and as a distributing big man, you can see where those 6 assists come from very quickly. Bediako on the other side of it leads the CEBL in block shots. So we've got a distributing big man and a shot blocking big man going at each other today. Should be a fun matchup to watch.
Tip-off just moments away, presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Really looking forward to this one. It's been a Saskatoon team, as Dave mentioned, that's been playing really well lately. A little bit of a speed bump a couple of days ago against these Stingers. Can they return the favor, perhaps? Last season, Stingers won the season series 3-1. However, It was all away wins for Edmonton. Saskatoon won the lone game here in Edmonton last year as Boursier throws it up a little bit too high there for Trey King. King gets the rebound but can't finish it, in Saskatoon get the ball after that empty first possession for Edmonton. Williams for three will rim out as both teams have missed early on in this one. King trying to drive there on Bediako, and that one will go for three.
And you can see early here the Stingers getting out of that slow methodical start, attacking right away, trying to get to the rim. Shot within 8 seconds, which is what Coach Baker talked about with Sarah in the pregame.
Jones for Bandu. Jones sets the screen. Bandu gets picked up there by King. Little free throw line jumper, a little bit heavy there for Bandu. Rebound still available, gathered in by Dunmartin. Outside into the corner for three. Too strong there, and Boursier comes away with the rebound for the Stingers. Bandemel. Manuel Bandemel to the bucket. Little offhand finish won't go. Rolls off the rim and back the other way come Dunmartin and the Mamba in those green unis. That's a clever pass, but maybe not in this situation. Boursier out to Lindsay, three more. A little bit too strong that time. Rebound claimed by Jones.
Both teams, no hesitation in transition, shooting the first three they see.
Lindsay reached in there as Jones was driving to the bucket, and that will be a foul.
Something interesting to keep an eye on here for Edmonton. There's a bit of a size mismatch, and they've chosen to start switching some pick and roll coverage, which in the past they've been hesitant to do, and I'm wondering if they looked at film and said, really, what's it going to hurt? We got mismatches everywhere, let's just switch it and play. I don't think the Mamba were ready for that on the last possession.
Tevian Jones will make the first of two free throws here for the Mamba. Jones on the season for Saskatoon. 17.7 points. Important player for the Mamba. As you mentioned, there's a lot of these Mamba players that are into double digits in terms of scoring, so it's tough for the Stingers to really focus in on one or two guys, isn't it?
It is. You really have to talk about your team defense right now, and they've done a couple of things really well early where they've cleaned up rebounds and haven't allowed second chance opportunities. Bediako led his Division I schools in college in offensive rebounding, is a huge presence at that end. If the Stingers can limit the Mamba to one and done, they have a really good chance of slowing down their scoring as Boursier hits one from the corner there to give them a good lead.
6-0 for the Stingers here to start. No way through there for Dunmartin, so he resets with Bediako. Dunmartin for three. That's going to go nothing but net for Tavian Dunmartin. Quick shot the other way, and that one a little bit short from King. And Saskatoon's got the ball. 6-4. Stingers in front here. Early days at the Hive in Edmonton. And we get a foul here. It'll go on the baseline. Bediako grabbed as he received that pass underneath.
And you can see Bediako hustling down the floor, claiming real estate inside the paint early, almost forcing the Stingers to just foul him and get to a baseline out of bounds here.
Just waiting for everything to be confirmed on the board here. Bandemel picking up his first foul of the contest. Good pass underneath. And I think Lindsay just got called for a foul, but a clever little play there as they were looking for Jones. So Tevian Jones back to the line. Going to get a sub here early for the Stingers as we get a look at As Davis Jr. coming in for Scotty Lindsay. Lindsay already with 2 fouls, and that's going to be something for head coach Jordan Baker to have to deal with throughout the course of this game now.
The Stingers do lead the CEBL in fouls per game, and that has to be a concern. It worked to their advantage in Saskatoon because it forced Coach Baker to find some creative lineups that maybe the Mamba wasn't quite prepared for. But now with the benefit of film, they've really got to keep an eye on the foul trouble here.
King, good ball movement here, and it is going to be an easy bucket in the end for Davis Jr. Good ball movement there from the Stingers.
And we've seen an increase of that with the addition and subtraction of a couple of players, and you worry when there's roster movement about the chemistry, but so far the experiment seems to be working.
Hornsby to the bucket, bounces tantalizingly off and won't go. Quick the other way, Williams, can he reach up to it? No, he can't, it goes out, and this will be Stingers' ball. Saskatoon tried to get out there quick, but not able to do so, as we get a look at Isaac Jack coming in here for Trey King, number 14 for the Stingers.
A couple of fans on the end line there got the full 3D experience of the game.
That's why those seats cost a premium. Boursier hands that one off. Hornsby. Hornsby trying to find a way through here. 8 on the shot clock. Jack gets a touchdown low. Davis outside, up fake. Now he goes for 3, and it's off the front rim. Rebound is going to go Saskatoon's way.
Davis Jr. Wednesday in Saskatoon brought a lot of energy off the bench. You can see his immediate impact, and we see it here again where he's been the primary scoring threat on a couple of actions.
Bandu driving, and he's stripped. Good hands there from Edmonton, as this one goes all the way down for Isaac Jack. What a good pass from Hornsby. Williams now pulls up for 3 off the heel, gathered in by Boursier. Will the Stingers look to push? Boursier will just hold back. 10-6 here.
Hornsby looking to go right back into Jack again.
And you can see Jack tap his chest and say, "That's my bad." Looked like that pass was certainly there.
As the great Ed Whalen used to say, a little malfunction at the junction.
Marcus Harding coming into the game now, and Bediako will get an early breather.
And great leadership by Hornsby to go over to the relative newcomer.
Stolen away and hammered home. Emmanuel Bentamel took away the inbounds pass. Sorry, Dave.
It's okay. I'm happy to pause anytime for something that exciting. Nick Hornsby's leadership in that moment of just, hey, this is what I thought I saw. Just keep doing this, kid, and you'll be fine.
It's a tough step back 3 from Dunmartin. Hornsby, bounce pass! Oh! Davis Jr. almost brought the house down. One hand, he went up strong. Just couldn't finish. He'll go to the line, though. Foul called on Harding there. Trey Townsend coming in for the Mamba. Jalen Williams stepping out as we see Davis Jr. going to the line.
Who has an explosiveness there. You know, a player goes up to challenge him thinking you're going to meet him and block that, and all of a sudden all you've got is forearm and a foul.
Takes the first of 2. Out of Chester, Pennsylvania. There's the man they call Bass. Two for 2. Davis Jr. at the line. Stingers up by 5. About the midway point of this opening quarter. Bandamel giving him no room. Pick and roll. Jones driving, asking for a foul, none coming. Hornsby quickly ahead. Davis,
Great
wrong
hustle.
shoulder, what a recovery. Davis in the corner, and
Stepped out of bounds.
Sideline monster got him.
Yep.
Crept up on him just a bit. And we're gonna take a break here. 4:43 to go in the first period. Stingers up 14-9 here. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus.
Score! Big savings on parking at YEG. Use promo code STINGERS to save 20% on airport parking with Jet Set Parking. Affordable parking just minutes from the terminal. Book online at jetsetparking.com/YEG and use code STINGERS to save. Level up your game. Jet Set Parking has partnered with Edmonton International Airport for their new loyalty program, YEG Plus. Jet Set Parking at YEG Plus, a winning way to start your vacation.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up, You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Follow at CEBL League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's professional basketball league. As we're back inside Play Alberta Court at Edmonton EXPO Center. Just call it the Hive. That's what the folks around here call it. And it's a 5-point lead for their Edmonton Stingers over the visiting Saskatoon Mamba as Edmonton looks to sweep this little home-and-home set between these two teams.
And early on, we see a couple of trends. Edmonton already with 6 points in the paint, 7 fast break points. They are doing the things that Coach Baker talked about with Sarah in pregame. So far, it's working to their advantage.
Trey Townsend. Now it's with Harding. Jones, can he find a way through? Finds Harding underneath. Little layoff pass. Needed 2 chances, but Harding gets it to go for Saskatoon. Now Hornsby. Hornsby trying to drive. Not a lot of room there. Little Dirk Nowitzki-esque one-legged fade from Hornsby,
who has been feeling it the last couple of games. So the challenge for Edmonton here is going to be, can they sustain the defensive pressure and the defensive effort?
Here's a 3 from Jones in the corner, and that is good. Good shot there from Jones. Now Hornsby really trying to get out and run here. Davis Jr. kicks it out. 3-pointer from the corner. Off the heel. Jack going up for the rebound, but is tipped away by Harding, and now Jones is out and running. Jones stops, pops, hits. It's good. And the foul. Tavian Jones. Chance for the Mamba to go in front here, Dave.
With the clock stopped at the free throw line. As a coach on the road, best opportunity you can ask for. You've got starters with foul now, so foul trouble creeps in. We've got the clock stopped. We can hit 1 or 2 free throws here.
It's a 4th foul for the Stingers. Cal Tire is a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Nuga into the game for the Stingers. Trey King is also back on the floor. Nuga for 3 off the front rim, and a rebound collected by Jones.
This is where Saskatoon can be very dangerous to an opposing team.
Fuller gets fouled on the 3-point shot. Jack a little overzealous there. And is Fuller okay here is the question. Jamal Fuller has only been on the floor for a couple of minutes. He's holding that one ankle. Just taking a moment. Just nowhere for him to land, it looked like that time.
No, and you've got the isolation you want. You've got a guy that probably doesn't practice those closeouts on 3-point shooters as often as some of the other players, and came out there a little awkwardly. You're right, not a lot of space to land. They just get a little tangled up. See if he can shake it off here at the free throw line.
Yeah, he's really testing that one ankle, isn't he, Fuller? As he makes the first one. Jamal Fuller out of Toronto, Long Island University down in the States. 2 for 2 at the line. See if Fuller can make all 3 of them here, really make the Stingers pay for that foul. And he will rattle it in, 20-16. Mamba in front, and Dave, with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, looks like we're headed for another high-scoring affair.
It will be very entertaining for the fans, and probably up some antacids.
King. Right back a little bit too high for Davis Jr. The Mamba have really started to lock things down at the defensive end.
And that was a challenge for for them at home on Wednesday was in the key moments when Edmonton was starting to run on them. Could they lock it down defensively?
Townsend, too strong on a three. Nuga has the rebound. Nuga will defer. Tay Donald back out for Nuga. Sees enough room to take the three, a little bit too strong, and Dunmartin grabs the rebound quickly up ahead. Fuller for three. That one doesn't go. Back and forth, Davis Jr. to the nets. And he'll get his own rebound and tap it back in. As Davis Jr. Mamba. Jones gonna go all the way, and that one's not gonna go, but they're gonna get jacked for the foul here, and that elicits some boos from the hometown crowd. They don't like that call.
Yes, the hometown fans respectfully
disagree.
They reject the premise of the question.
So it's free throws from here on in now for the Mamba, as Jones is at the line once again. Jones will make the first. Should mention our officials here today. Our crew chief is Reed Scott. The umpires are Troy Eager and Ryan Knish.
Hornsby checking back in for Jack with Rooms on the floor. Becomes a bit of a small ball lineup.
So it's a couple of fouls on Jack. It's a couple of fouls as well on Scotty Lindsay. So head coach Baker's gonna have to get creative. Here's Tay Donald. Rooms for three. That one is off the mark. Fuller grabs the loose ball. Up ahead to Dunmartin. Dunmartin spinning, and he's able to get it to go. How good was that from Dunmartin for Saskatoon?
Great footwork in the lane there.
Donald now giving directions. Wants Rooms to set something up. Now he'll go to the bucket. High pass, tough to handle, taken down immediately by King, and then lost out to Saskatoon as Edmonton is kind of stuck here offensively last few possessions. Mamba move it around to Townsend. He's driving. Low pass, tough to pick up. Bandu does enough. Now it's outside. Or sorry, Bediako, beg your pardon. Stingers the other way. And that's a foul. You see the eyes go wide of Fuller there. Can't believe he was called.
You see a little bit of a different style in trend. Try to use their passes speed to get to the paint, try to compress the defense. The Mamba are content to shoot the three in transition. We outran you down the floor. We'll shoot the three. We'll rely on Bediako and our inside talent to get to any rebounds. One thing Edmonton has done
nice
well.
Pass there as
Great
Hornsby lays it in, sorry.
One thing Edmonton's done well is take away those second chance opportunities until this last little run by the Mamba.
Maybe at Dunmartin, that pass, he left his feet. That's always a dangerous play. Nuga stole it, Hornsby driving. Hornsby all the way, and it goes. Nick Hornsby cuts the lead to 2 here in the final moments of this first quarter. Shot clock turned off for Saskatoon.
Hornsby sensing what you had already mentioned about, we just need to see the ball go in. So let's just go to the rim and see what we get.
5 on the clock for Dunmartin. Dunmartin a long way from the bucket, and he doesn't really get a good look, but he went in! Does it count? Yes, it does! Dunmartin! How did he do it? It looked like there was no room for him to get that shot off, but he managed to do it.
And I think Coach Baker is suggesting it was still on his hand, but the official are disagreeing, and now we have a technical.
Baker's just picked up a technical foul. We got to take a break here. We'll sort everything out. It's 27-22 Mamba. We'll be back with second quarter action. You're watching CEBL Basketball Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
program will resume.
Hornsby needs to settle things down for the Stingers. Drives up, down, and in. Nick Hornsby really went to work there on Williams.
Trading 3 for 2, but still getting that score to remind them that, you know, this isn't going to be a run right now. This is going to be us just playing basketball.
And Boursier, I think, is just going to get caught for reaching in. So Boursier gets his first foul. Mohamed Mahadi will inbound. We are essentially. Mahadi kicks it out into the corner. Another 3 for the Mamba. That one rims out. Rebound secured by Nuga. Hornsby tried to send it over to Boursier, but a hand in the way from Williams. Another turnover for Edmonton. Chaplin into the lane, nowhere through. Williams will fake. Now he'll take the 3. Boursier able to secure that board as well. Hornsby, one more pass. King to the bucket, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line, shoot a couple. Trey King.
Again, Edmonton starting their transition with a good defensive rebound. Get it up quickly.
He really landed hard on the shoulder. And that seems to be what is causing him a little bit of discomfort at the moment.
So here's one of those quirks about international basketball, the FIBA rules that we play. As soon as that trainer came out on the floor in FIBA basketball, they're talking about, yeah, now we need an injury sub. So you're content to let your players lie there for a few more seconds and probably be yelling at them like, hey, can you play? Can you get up? Because you want them to stay in and complete that play.
So Emmanuel Bandamel will have to come in and take these free throws. Bandamel will miss the first. I was going to ask you, Dave, is it tough to come off the bench and shoot your first shot as free, or is that into the game?
Oh, I would say anybody coming off the bench that's used to play wants to get up and down the floor once or twice before getting the free throw line. That's
It's an empty trip for Bandamel, unfortunately, for the Stingers. Mamba still up by 7 here. Chaplin will hit the jumper, a little bit short.
Early in Steve Kerr's career with the Bulls, he used to practice that. He would go to shoot around and sit on the bench for 10 minutes and watch everyone else and then just step in and shoot a couple threes and then go snap again to get used to what his sub pattern was going to be like. Right? He knew it was a whole different type of flying, really. It's a different mindset.
Hornsby hits from the free throw line. Williams up top. And that one is off the mark from Mahadi. Rebound secured by Edmonton. This is Lindsay. Hasn't seen a lot of the floor as he dealt with foul trouble in the first quarter, and he just missed the layup there. Goes heavily into the crowd there. And Lindsay appears to be okay. Boursier has drawn a foul. Good work by Mason Boursier there defensively.
Quick feet to get in the line and be stable enough that the official goes, yeah, you're right, that's a charge.
If you can get there and stake your claim to that spot, well, that's your spot.
And he did it perfectly there.
Baz Davis Jr. inbounding, gets it right back, look out. And this one was deflected, so not over and back. Davis Jr., little layup off the glass, and it's good with the right hand. Baz Davis Jr. has provided some offense for the Stingers in this one. Jones. Bediako back to Jones. Room to shoot it. Little bit short. Davis Jr.'s got the rebound. Wants to get out and run too. Davis Jr. all the way himself and a little bit too strong. Williams has the rebound. Williams, look out here, flying in and laying it up and in is Jones. Found the man with speed that time, the Mamba did. Davis. Bediako's in front of him. Hornsby up. Hornsby fakes a couple times, played it off the glass, rebound gathered in, and right back. That is a first battle as a McCoy, who used to play in Saskatoon. The right point. McCoy gets behind the Stinger squad.
Welcome to the Stinger stack.
There you go, as a layup for Jones at the other end. Puts the lead back to 5. Atong McCoy drawing that foul. You pick up your official replica jerseys now. Visit CEBL.ca.
Jalen Williams identified for that foul. That's what energy is. You get caught up in those little fights or that fighting for territory. That's what the bench will give you, is that energy in that fight.
McCoy in the post.
Get the ball right back to him. Great decision.
Kicked it out. Donald moved it around. Hornsby for 3. It's good. We're tied at 35. Ball movement from the Stingers. Jones and rebound there. By Mohammed. Hornsby. Hornsby all the way. It's good for 2 more. Stingers were down 9. Find themselves up by 2.
A nice little
3. Really. Saskatoon. CEBL Plus, we are packed.
The CIC would Canada protect deposits in case of failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Thank you. That's my job.
Program will resume. will resume.
Bandu makes the first of two. Bandu, the Mississauga product, Baylor grad. All-time leading scorer in Mamba history, and he adds a couple more there.
All-time leader in three-pointers made and all-time leader in steals.
We could just go down the list for Devontae. King driving the lane, lets it fly, and I think he was asking for a foul, didn't get one called, and Jones will head the other way. Muhammad fronting. Jones kicks it out. Three-pointer in the corner. Heels out. Rebound gathered in by Trey King, the third. King. Muhammad in the corner. Trying to back down his man, Bandu. Muhammad gets into the lane, and he was fouled. That basket won't count from Nuga. He liked the effort going for the rebound, but didn't have to worry about it. Muhammad to the line for two.
No, and they need more of that. They need guys, I'm going to say, out of position a little bit. A guard like Nuga going to the rim looking for an offensive rebound. They need those kind of sparks here if they want to have a lead going in.
You can sit and just let your tall guys rebound, but rebounding really is a team mentality, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and it comes down to team identity a little bit too. What happens in the film? What happens when you don't get that rebound? The coach is saying, hey, you're a guard here. I don't care what position you play, you could have gotten that rebound. And then it becomes part of who you are as a team.
Jack, Lindsay back on the floor, both again with two fouls. It's Saskatoon who's in a little bit of foul trouble this quarter, already with 4. Bandu.
And to Sarah's point, you can see Jack coming in with Bediako off the floor.
And immediately Coach Fox goes to the bench and looks for Bediako to come back. And don't think they're going to let him go in now, or are they? Yes, they are. He'll replace Harding. There was an offensive foul there, the 5th, but not a free throw foul. But it will be from here on out now for the Stingers. Bandamel. Out for Lindsay. Nuga's gonna fire from deep. Rebound available, and Bediako has got it. Quick transition, Bandu out to run. Bandu all the way, fouled, and the bucket! Devontae Bandu would not be denied that time. The number 10 in the lime green.
How do you become your team's all-time leading scorer? You see opportunities like that, and you can finish.
Baker's trying to get a quick sub in here. King comes in for Jack. It was Jack's foul, Dave, so that's 3 on the center already. And that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for the coach. That's a miss.
As Isaac Jack has adjusted to the pace of play in the CEBL, one of the things that has to start to happen is his foul numbers have to start to come down. He's still committing fouls. And he's committing those types of fouls where he's not anticipating 2 plays ahead.
King hit a jumper there for the Stingers, put them back in front as we seesaw here in quarter number 2. Dunmartin, watched closely there by King.
And Tay Donald guarding Bediako.
Trying. 2 to shoot, he's got to let it go, blocked! What a play, Bandamel! Can he finish at the other end? Yes, he can! A block and a score for Emmanuel Bandamel. Jones for three, good! Silenced the crowd a little bit.
And maybe silenced his teammate Bediako, who's looking at him as he shoots that going, I got a mouse in the house.
Wide open.
And
45 apiece.
With that second three-pointer of the game for Tevian Jones, he now has 100 threes in his CEBL career. He's played for 4 different teams since 2024, Scarborough, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, and he was in Vancouver for a little bit earlier this year. Through 7 games with Saskatoon this season, he's put up 124 points, roughly 18 a game. Also big on the glass with 27 rebounds through those first 7 games, Grayson.
Awesome, thanks so much, Sarah. Good stuff there, and we've reached another break, so we've got to step aside for just a moment. You are watching CEBL Basketball Live right here on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Oh, no, pardon me, we are going to stay here. It's been an impressive game so far, 45-45.
As you know, both coaches right now are trying to address, there's not a lot of positive going on right now. Hey guys, great effort. There's a lot of, what are we doing with Bediako? What are we doing with pick and roll coverage? Hey, why are we collapsing? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of that corrective stuff for the last 2 minutes coming down the stretch. And both of these teams right now are identifying things. Edmonton has changed their pick and roll coverage. They're not switching anymore, trying to give the Mamba a different look. The Mamba are relying on playing one-on-one defense. They don't have to help. They've actually got Bediako drifting off his man, so he can guard the rim a bit more. So now what are going to be the adjustments in the last 2 minutes of this?
We've talked a lot about Bediako. Obviously, he attracts a lot of attention, but when you're looking at the numbers so far, it feels like the Stingers have done a decent job.
I think they have, and his strength often is, if they're not in that spread pick and roll, he's really doing it with offensive rebounds. Off of missed threes or the penetration in the little dump down. Well, Edmonton's taken away the penetration, and they've been cleaning up a lot of those second chance opportunities. So they actually have done a pretty good job of neutralizing it. But he's always lurking.
Yes, the threat remains.
Yes.
As Tavian Dunmartin gets us back underway. Final 2 minutes here at the Expo Center, the Hive, as the cool kids call it. Underneath, Boursier is going to come up with that loose ball. Davis Jr., Boursier. He's got Bediako watching, kicks it into the corner, that's a three, and it'll rattle out. Bediako fighting, and he does get that rebound, but now we got a jump ball situation, beg your pardon. Good call, David, is it travel? I thought maybe that it had been grabbed equally at the same time. So what's the difference there with the travel as opposed to a jump ball scenario when both guys looked like it had a firm grip on the ball?
Both guys did have a firm grasp of the ball. Now, what are their feet doing, or what are they doing to maintain that possession? If one player's got his feet relatively still and the other one's running away with the ball.
And you can see him.
Yeah. I don't want to say that was an easy call for the officials, because I wouldn't say any of these calls are easy when athletes are moving this fast. But it was pretty much by the book.
Well, coming up here at the half, we've got our CEBL top plays of week number 6. Sarah Ryan's going to chat with Saskatoon's head coach Isaiah Fox. We'll have our first half stats, and of course we'll recap Day's players to watch and just see how accurate he was with his pregame predictions. That's all coming up here at the half in 1 minute and 23 seconds of game action. A little bit longer in real life, but it's been a treat this first half, 45 apiece here in Edmonton.
This has been an entertaining game for the fans that have come out to watch this on a great afternoon.
Yes, that anthem hit a little bit differently today when they played it beforehand after the soccer match.
It did hit a little differently. You could hear from our location, you could hear the fans up behind us singing along loud and proud to the anthem.
And we were here, Dave, just before they put up it on the big screen here. All the players are going through warm-up, and all the players were distracted watching, especially when Eustachio scored the winner. Everybody cheered. It was very cool. Hornsby off the inbounds play.
And to their credit, the coaching staffs of both teams just said, yeah, I'm watching.
Yep, absolutely. It's a special moment Davis Jr., 3 to shoot, lets it fly. It's off the back rim and gathered in by Jones. Tevian Jones has been good for Saskatoon. Bandu's got it.
The Mamba have been really good at closing out quarters.
Bandu for 3, that's good.
He's one of the reasons why.
It was a deep 3 and he nailed it. A little bit of traffic in front. Saskatoon by 3 here. Davis Jr. trying to work in the post against Dunmartin, a shorter opponent. Nuga back out for 3, short. Ball up for grabs, quickly grabbed by Bandu. Not quite enough time here for a 2-for-1 scenario, although Saskatoon might just try. And underneath, getting tripped up there was Bediako.
I don't think that was a true 2-for-1. I think that was just best available.
Yes.
I got a matchup and we'll take our chances, but you're right, there wasn't time for that traditional 2-for-1.
Big board officially says 23.6 seconds left in quarter number 2 as Bediako goes to the line. First one is off the mark. He looks a little bit disappointed. Get a really low-scoring game so far for Bediako. Crowd's going to get some noise. They want that 0 for 2. Not going to get it this time.
So we'll see if Edmonton winds it down.
They haven't started the clock yet, and the referees see that. Boursier had let the ball roll to buy some more time, but then when he picked it up, they forgot to hit go. Vandemel will return to the floor, and Boursier will come off. It looks like it's going to be a deficit for Edmonton heading into the half. It's just a matter of how large of a deficit.
And Troy Eager coming over to the table with a wry smile going, hey, we're all human, but let's fix this.
Yeah. So here we go, 21 flats on the big board. Shot clock off for Edmonton. Nuga down low, one more pass out to Vandemel. Oh, good cut. Oh, and a block. Bediako took that away from Davis Jr. Strong defense. Can the Mamba get a late bucket? This one's not gonna go. Hornsby, a little bit too late. And that'll bring the first half to an end. 49-45, Saskatoon enjoying the lead here. Edmonton 1 point better in the second quarter, but it's still a Saskatoon lead heading into the break, Dave.
It is, and that last play, you had that great long pass, that extra pass to a cutter, and you're thinking, that's beautiful basketball. And I don't know where it comes.
Like you said, lurking the whole time. Haven't really made a ton of plays, but made that one. Let's throw things over now to Sarah Ryan. She is with Tevian Jones. Sarah.
I'm with Tevian Jones. Tevian, you made 2 threes in that first half. To have 100 threes on your CEBL career, how does that milestone feel?
Feels good.
Talk to me about how you bring your Lakers NBA G League experience to the CEBL.
I really just think staying focused, trusting my teammates out there, and really locking into the game plan that Coach has for us.
Your coach talking about getting down into the paint. Why is that critical to the Mamba's success?
I think really just putting pressure on the defense, staying downhill, and making them make a decision down there, whether we kick it out or make the layup.
Absolutely. Are you looking for a little bit of revenge after dropping Wednesday's game to the Stingers?
For sure. Facts.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for this. We appreciate it. Good luck in the next quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Grayson, Dave.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Halftime here at the Expo Center. Saskatoon with a 4-point lead over the hometown Stingers. You're watching Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Has to get up in a hurry. Here's Joyner, throws it up right at the hoop. Look at John Knight the Herd flying in out of nowhere from the rafters, hits the glass. Point lead, still anyone's ball game as we see Knight the Third skying in off glass, had time to work with, and now Notice, inside the creek, extra pass, Tyrese Samuel with authority in the lane.
The challenge is to still be aggressive. It was fairly passive, and the Bandits did a great job of moving. And when you have a
next year.
Right now he's on this Shooting Stars roster, and they are loving having him. Powell again. Frank Mitchell rocks the rim. You can feel that in downtown Toronto. By Kennedy, and a chance to win here, 1 point away for the Saskatoon Mamba, looking to pull back to 500. Dunn-Martin rises for three. That's good, and that's game. Tavian Dunn-Martin playing the air guitar, and the Mamba, if you're a Mamba fan. This team has now won 5 of its last 6 games, and the race out west is tight. Winnipeg and Vancouver at 74 lead the way. The Mamba now just a game and a half back of both of those teams.
Is up on Sims. Koy Uat watched by Ahmad. Sims tries the circus shot. Oh, the follow from Koy Uat. AY flies to the basket, as that was an emphatic
and look
slam.
at this. Out of nowhere. And he says, head on.
Dylan Brooks loved that. A three-pointer away from starting the bus, ending the night. Will they go for the three? Why not? Miles Powell for the win! Yes! He's done it again! He's done it again! Mr. Target Score has done it again!
Working on Dubinsky. Jones can't get loose. Into the corner. Williams, baseline, kicks it out. Townsend calls down, gets inside. Townsend wins it! Mamba! Holy moly! The rookie gets it done!
Never gave up, figured out their woes, even though they didn't get the rebounds they needed. They fought through it all the way to the end.
What a... Dunn-Martin. It is Jones. He drives, kicks it. Dunn-Martin thought about it. The three is up, and it rattles in. Tavian Dunn-Martin wins it for the Mamba on a three.
Up 6. Here's Krause with the buzzer. And he cans it! Mason Krause fading. Baseline into his bench, gets the three-pointer.
Coach Baker might be the happier of the two coaches going to the quarter, and he's not happy now. He made that catch on the sideline, which turns up into an endo, which goes into a side-o to Mason Krause.
Also was for Calgary, along with Brown. Cheney driving. Cheney gives to Brown. Back for Cheney. Steps up, takes the shot. It's good! It's good! It's good! The Calgary Surge have their first win of the season. It's win 1, ranked up by number 1.
He is that guy, the face to go into the hands of Devontae Brown, who set that screen at the end, by the way, and Amani Cheney, what a fourth quarter and target scoring time. My man, welcome to the city.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
We're at the half here. It is a 4-point lead for the Saskatoon Mamba over the Edmonton Stingers. Happy to have you alongside. Dave Drabuk is here. Sarah Ryan is here as well. Dave, let's start with Saskatoon in the lead here in a good first half for them. They'll be happy with how they played in the opening 20 minutes here.
They'll be happy with the scoreboard. They will want to clean some things up. We talked about Jaden early in this game. He hasn't had the kind of touches that he needs to have good production there. They have actually created not enough turnovers by the Edmonton Stingers. The defensive pressure hasn't been quite as effective. They've had a couple of breakdowns here. Offensively, though, they've been able to spread the floor. They've been able to put Edmonton Stinger defenders on a bit of an island. They've been able to catch some threes on some long or late contests to three-point shooters. I mean, they're getting it done, and you're right. Overall, they'll be happy with their offensive production. 49 points and a half of basketball, but you know they're in there talking about what to clean up.
Let me get these right. Tevian Jones, 18. Tavian Dunmartin has 12 to lead the way for the Mamba. Meanwhile, for the Stingers, they're right in this thing too, and Nick Hornsby has been a big part. So has Boss Davis Jr.
Davis Jr. has been a huge spark plug for them, and Nick Hornsby more and more now starting to take over in terms of those moments. We talked about it twice. The Mamba were on the small runs, and he was able to get a bucket, show his teammates something going in, and his passing continues to be the thing that's moving the ball. We talk often about the ball has energy. Move the ball around and give energy to your teammates, and then it starts to spread the floor, and then those seams are there for guys to attack and get layups, take care of business.
Now we're going to see the stats here in just a moment, but the one that jumps off the page to me is the three-point shooting percentage. Saskatoon at 33%, 8 for 24, 3 for 17 for the Stingers at just 17.6%. That jumps off the page to me. Also the free throw disparity to Saskatoon shooting a lot more.
Yeah, we talked at the beginning about how the Stingers foul a lot. They're leading the CEBL in fouls. Here we are, 16-6 on free throws. Look, I coached for a lot of years, and I'd be happy to argue that, there was a couple missed here and there. Yeah. That was my job. But 16-6 tells a story about, another musical cue. Keep your hands to yourself a little bit there. Rebounding is nice and even, but the three-point shooting percentage, it's good to see the volume of three-point shots, but the quality has not been where they want to be at all. So if they can pick up some three-point shooting, if they can still continue to limit some rebounding, and get to the free throw line, they can take care of those things, they can get a lead out of this thing.
Feels like both teams coming out of the break will feel like they've got a good chance at winning this one. And we'll have that second half for you coming up in just a few moments right here. You're watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
When Crystal Glass introduced our residential window line this past year, it was essential to manufacture them locally.
Crystal Glass has always been a proudly Canadian company.
We employ Canadians, we serve Canadians, and we are Canadians. So our windows are designed and built for our climate.
And since we've been the clear choice for glass for over 75 years, you can trust our quality and service.
Visit one of our over 50 locations across Western Canada or at crystalglass.ca. Financing is now available.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
All right, sticks in the middle.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
I am here with Saskatoon Mamba coach Isaiah Fox. Isaiah, Nick Hornsby's been a bit of a thorn in your side tonight. How do you defend him now in the third quarter?
He's a really tough matchup for us. He's a very versatile player, and I think for us it's about finding the right matchup to go against him. It's a challenge for all our guys, especially at the forward position, because the versatility he brings to the table. But it's a team effort. It is a team effort. We got to get back on defense first, and then we got to know who we're guarding in our matchups.
Also, only 12 points in the paint through the first 2 quarters. I overheard you talking about wanting your players to get into the key more. Why is that critical?
Well, for us, it opens up our whole offense. The more paint touches we get, the more we can kind of get the defense sagging in, and then it opens up our corner kicks and all that stuff. Edmonton has 30 points in the paint right now, and we have 12. Like you said, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. We got to do better.
Talk to me about any other changes that you made at halftime. It's a very back and forth game at this point.
Well, we're going to try to draw up some plays, particularly to get the ball to the paint, maybe if it's post plays for Bediako. And then the stat that jumped out to us coaches was 5 assists, 11 turnovers. We're just not sharing the basketball, a little bit too much isolation, and we're still up 4. So we got a lot of improvement to do.
There's a lot of game left to play. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Grayson. Dave?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Coach Fox. He pretty much said everything we were talking about there at the halftime. We'll talk about a little bit to watch, Dave. Bediako was one of them. Didn't have a big impact in that first half, but expect more from him in the second. Of course, Nick Hornsby was the leader for Edmonton in terms of offense.
Hornsby definitely the leader on offense for the Stingers, and playing right to his stat line. In fact, he's almost ahead of his offensive pace, which they need from him today. Bediako doing some things with block shots and adjusting shots, and you can see players looking over their shoulder, trying to find him a little bit on the offensive end, and he's doing those things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. The concern for the Stingers is if he's bringing that and they allow him now to score some points in the second half, that's a recipe for disaster for Edmonton.
And I love the mention from Coach Fox that they want to get into the paint because it opens up that three-point shooting, and he's exactly right. Now it's time to take a look at our red tag path to the playoffs. Here's the latest standings. It gets late early in the CEBL, doesn't it? And we take a look particularly at the West. Vancouver at 9-4 leading the way. Winnipeg 8-5, and then you've got Saskatoon and Edmonton right there in 3rd and 4th place. It's going to be a race right to the final games, isn't it?
It is, and this is the sports math of are these 4-point games or 6-point games or all those cliches that we hear all the time. Every game right now, for Edmonton, this is a win for them and a win that Saskatoon doesn't get. And these are all going to be crucial games for them. Saskatoon has a chance to kind of take hold of that 3rd spot with a win today and really put some downward pressure on Edmonton and Calgary.
Yeah, it feels like it's a big little stretch here for the Stingers. 2 against Saskatoon. They've got Calgary coming here on Canada Day. That's important. Meanwhile, you could say the same on the other side as they're trying to catch Winnipeg. They got 2 games Saskatoon did with Edmonton, and then they've got to go to Winnipeg on, I believe that's Tuesday. So quick turnaround there.
Indeed so.
Just about ready to go for half number 2. Again, it's 49-45. Grayson Canusa with Dave Drabuk and Sarah Ryan here with you. Hope you're enjoying our coverage, whether you're watching on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, or on one of the YouTube feeds, or even on Sports 1440 here in Edmonton. Appreciate you tuning in. It's been a fun one. Taking a look at the 5 on the floor. We're going to see Hornsby as well as Boursier, Bandamel, Lindsay, and Trey King for Edmonton. Meanwhile, it's Jones with Bandu, Bediako, Williams, and Dunmartin. All the starters for both teams. Lindsay. First possession of the half to the Stingers, and that's a three for King. Big bucket, Trey King. There's some of that three-point shooting that Edmonton would love to get going in this second half.
Absolutely. I wonder if they heard some things at halftime in the locker room.
Here's Bediako, an early touch in the half. He goes to the bucket, and that is soft. Bounced off the rim, off the glass, and in for Bediako. He only had 1 point in the first half. Now he's got 3 for the game.
And that's that. Get a touch to your big man early. Let him feel it. Let him get going.
Boursier can't connect on the straightaway 3. What a first half from Tevian Jones. 18 points for the Mamba. Bandu. And he just drugged that pivot foot a little bit too much for the referee's liking.
And there's one of his teammates pantomiming it for the official to suggest that maybe they saw it differently.
Yep. Funny how that works.
Funny.
Bandumel. King hands off for Boursier. They set a screen. Boursier will go all the way. He's fouled. A little bit too strong on the finish, but Mason Boursier will get a couple shots at the free throw line.
When Boursier came to Edmonton, he came in with reputation as a shooter.
Yes.
So he gets that opportunity now every time to give that little lift fake, put the ball on the deck and try to get to the rim, because as players see him catch the ball, they're like, okay, it's a shoot. So he can get on their hip and create that foul, and he is now shooting.
Made one of his 3 threes in the first half. It's the only bucket he made. Mason Boursier out of Kelowna. And that one didn't go. Danced right along the rim and just would not drop. Jones almost had his pocket picked by Boursier. Now a switch. Jones on Vandemel. Dunmartin. 7 on the shot clock. Dunmartin trying to shake off Boursier here. Dunmartin lets it fly and it goes. The defense was good, but sometimes you got to tip your cap.
Indeed so. That was a pretty solid defensive effort by Edmonton and a better response by the Mamba.
Hornsby had that one bounce off his foot. Singer's got to be careful not to let this one get away from them early in the third quarter. 5-point lead for the Mamba.
The Mamba coming into this game only 500 when leading at halftime. So you got to be thinking as the Stingers, like this thing's far from over.
A 3 from Bandu will rattle in. That's kind of been the story of the CEBL, is those first quarter leads. Teams are having a tough time coming back throughout the course of the year. Seeing a little bit more now, but early on, felt like if you had the lead after 10, you were going to win. Lindsay couldn't handle the pass underneath.
And some of that's product of chemistry building, roster changes, which early in the CEBL season tend to happen. Edmonton had a player go to some NBA camps. It's happening all the way across the league. Then you get the opposite effect with Mitch Creekery joining Vancouver later. But again, you've got to assimilate that player back into your system again. And so some of the early season pattern disappears as rosters start to settle.
That foul on Bandu is an end line foul. Get it into Jalen Williams. Right back to Bandu. Bediako getting another touch in the post. Hooks it out. Jones open for 3. Short. Hornsby gets the rebound. Jones frustrated. Bounce pass to King is well read. Dunmartin takes it away, and then he gives it back. Boursier up ahead. Lindsay. Bandumel up top, and it's too high.
A little too much adrenaline on that pass.
You could see it. It was coming. Jones went behind the back there. Bediako trying to fight his way in the lane. No way through. And then a foul. King tried an outlet pass, and Bediako just got a piece of him. That's a foul that'll drive the coach nuts. It is at the opposite end of the floor from where you'd like to see your big guys getting fouls if they have to take them.
That is out of frustration, whether he felt he was fouled or whatever. And we talked about that a little bit in pregame. They can be disrupted or distracted. So they've got to watch him now and make sure he doesn't pick up another quick one. He stays in this game.
Hornsby will let it fly. slide, partially blocked. I think that was Williams who got a piece.
Certainly did.
It's a turnover. Edmonton will get the ball back, and they want to bring Tay Donald in real quick. Steps in for Boursier.
And this is trouble for any team trying to come back, even from the smallest deficit as this lull in their offensive production.
Hornsby says, I got some offense for you. Takes it himself, gets the and one opportunity. He's having a game, Hornsby. Well, Edmonton, summer plans just got a little bit more serious. You can join the Stingers for multiple special edition theme nights throughout the season. Purchase today, stingers.ca/tickets, or by scanning the QR code right there on the bottom of your screen. And the Stingers do a really good job of incorporating a lot of different theme nights, something different every time you come here to the Hive. Bandu. Dunmartin, a quick trigger three. It's off the front of the rim, rebound quickly up ahead for Donald from King. Donald, the trailer, Bandamel! Springs in the steps, yes. Williams trying to answer right away, was fouled, and that won't go. Looks like the foul is on the number 7, Abdul Muhammad.
And they're going to shoot that. We're going to say that was in the shooting action.
Beg your pardon, Muhammad's not on the floor, so I got that wrong. That was Bahati, called for the foul. Come see the new chapter of professional basketball in Saskatoon. Your tickets available by scanning the QR code or by visiting saskatoonmamba.ca/tickets.
Foul on the board in the arena.
There you go. That would be his first, so no real issues there yet. Mamba 3 fouls in the quarter. Edmonton 2. Hornsby. Bounce pass. What a play. King throws it down on a clever play from Hornsby. He's doing it all.
The Swiss Army knife has found another device.
Jones is pushed off the defender, trying to open up some shooting space. Came up short anyway. Bandamel outrunning, pushed by Jones. It's an easy one for the officials, and that's not a foul that Coach Fox will enjoy seeing. That's already 4 now on the Mamba in this quarter.
And getting a little stare down from Coach Fox on that.
Look of disappointment. You know what you did wrong.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, the worst. 4-point lead for the Mamba here. About 5.5 in the third quarter. The referee's just discussing.
Was it baseline
or
sideline?
Yeah. And they'll go sideline.
And the official looking down at Coach Baker and saying, okay.
I heard you.
I heard you. Thank you. Let's move on.
Hornsby hands that one off to Lindsay. Quiet for him with the foul trouble. Donald all the way and one! Tay Donald right to the teeth of the defense. No fear.
Tay Donald, very shifty, very quick, explosive first step, and then goes right into the body of Bediako here, not really giving him a lot of choice other than to foul. Does a really good job of shielding the ball with his body.
2 fouls now for Bediako, so no real worries yet. Donald spent some time in Finland this past year.
And finishes the 3-point play.
There you go. I set him up, you knock him down, Dave. That's how we're gonna do this. Bandu trying to drive. Dunmartin. Banjamel fronting. Dunmartin. That was some good defense by Banjamel, didn't give him much. And then the hand from Williams took it back for Saskatoon. Jones thinking about the 3. Up high and put back down by Jalen Williams. Great follow-up.
And that live ball turnover, you've got 2 players caught at the top of the key. You don't have enough bodies to rebound, to box out.
Hornsby in some trouble. threw it away. Wanted Bandamel in the corner, couldn't find his way out. And that's going to take us to a timeout here. 61-58, it's the Mamba in front of the Stingers here in Edmonton. It's been a tight one the whole way. Third quarter action resumes in just a moment. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
All right, sticks in the middle.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
We are back at the Edmonton EXPO Center. Saskatoon Mamba 61, Edmonton Stingers 58. This is a tight game. Let's check in on Devontae Bandu. He has 10 points on the game, but his impact is not just in the points. He played previously for the Edmonton Stingers last season, 9 games. He made about 50% of his shots from the floor. Very dangerous player, also an excellent three-point shooter. He did spend the majority of his career in Saskatchewan. He's the franchise's all-time leading scorer, as Davis mentioned a few times. He's a player known for his consistency. Bandu has already played in 6 games for the Mamba, and he's averaging 12 points, and also he's picked up 26 rebounds along the way and 18 assists. He's also currently chasing down 1,000 points in his CEBL career. He is about 28 points from that massive milestone.
Like Sarah, Jalen Williams hit a 3 and then had a huge rejection. At the other end, Jones was denied, or he was fouled. Looked like Hornsby maybe had got that one initially, but the referees call the foul and a chance to stretch the lead here for Saskatoon.
Great effort to track it down from behind, and as a coach, I'm going to say it's a 50-50 play. It's time to have it. You know, Lindsay thought he had a great closeout in the corner, and it just gave him an extra, probably a half a ball width to space. So they'll address that in timeouts.
Jones did make one. Davis Jr. returns for Scotty Lindsay. Assistant coach for the Mamba, Jamie Campbell, just had a quick word with Jalen Williams, making sure he's still okay, doesn't need a sub quite yet. Davis Jr. The rhythm has remained as he knocks that jumper down. Jones. It's Davis Jr. watching closely. Bediako. King is guarding, almost stole it. Jones with a high pick. Dunmartin. Donald fronting. Here's Bediako in the post, and that's going to be a 3-second violation. Offensive 3 on Bediako.
And that brings a smile to Davis Jr.'s face.
Bediako's going to argue. So is Coach Fox. Nothing's going to change, however. Edmonton basketball. Donald, Hornsby, Williams, all over him. Here's Jack back on the floor. Bandamel out to Hornsby. Williams is guarding Hornsby. There's a little bit of room to shoot, and Hornsby knocks it down. Another bucket for Nick Hornsby. Lead back down to 3. Dunmartin driving. Can't find his way through. Now he dishes. Soft touch there, but a little bit overthrown by Fuller. Got his own rebound. Fuller can't put it up. Bediako can't find it either. Stingers doing a good job boxing out. Hornsby.
And Isaac Jack doing a great job of walling up on that and forcing that turn.
Jack just had his pocket stripped there. Dunmartin.
Isaac, I'm trying to help you out here.
And Bediako got real good positioning there on the youngster and draws the foul.
Veteran.
Yes, what a good learning experience for Isaac Jack to go up against Bediako here. Learn on the job as Trey Townsend comes in for Jalen Williams.
With that rebound by Nick Hornsby, he has officially moved into first-time all-place in regular season rebounds for the Edmonton Stingers. Beating out his own coach, of course, Jordan Baker.
There you go, congrats. As that one was put away by Tevian Jones. Hornsby plays that one back. Bandamel for three. It's off the heel.
I'm sure there's only one number he's worried about tonight, which makes him such a great leader, but at some point he'll remind his coach.
Jones got called for a foul there, so that bucket won't count. His second of the game. Here's Adong McCoy back on the floor, and he's at the free throw line. And a homecoming for McCoy, who's from right here in Edmonton. Went to Tennessee State, and he's played a little bit over professionally in Finland as well.
And when you talk about the charm, if you will, of the CEBL, these fans getting to see a home product, whether that's in Winnipeg or Vancouver or Saskatoon or Scarborough, you get to see the hometown favorite come back, or the hometown product come back and play in this uniform in front of the next generation or the people that helped them get where they got. It's an amazing experience and a great part of this league that we can't ever forget.
There's a foul called right there, and Jones will go to the line. How many youngsters are in the crowd, and how many of them could we possibly see on the floor here in, who knows, a decade or so, right? Not just here in Edmonton, but of course right across the country. As Jones is ready to go to the free throw line again, the Mamba are up by 4 with 2:23 to go in the third quarter. Jones is having one heck of a night for Saskatoon, leading them offensively. Made some good defensive plays as well, getting hands in lanes.
Bandamel goes to the bench a little frustrated. I know Coach Baker's trying to save those last two fouls for the fourth quarter, if you will, but I think he's a little frustrated to be in that position.
Both teams will be shooting from here on out as they're in the bonus. Donald's also back on the floor here in Rooms, the number 12. Davis Jr. Donald lets it fly. That's good. Nothing but net from Tay. 3 for 3. Jones.
And Dunn Martin looking back at the assistant coaches going, what do you want me to do? You want me to get up on him?
Well, how about that for an answer? Dunn Martin says, I'll just get 3 of my own. If I can't defend it, we'll get it back at the other end. Donald, hands in the way. McCoy picks it up. Good footwork in the lane, just couldn't hit that hook shot.
Great footwork, high finish. No reward.
Jones trying to get around Rooms here. And it's McCoy guarding, and he's going to get called for a block. So that looks like more free throws for Tevian Jones.
And here's where the trouble starts for any basketball team. The moment that Rooms got beat and somebody else had to come over and help, now people have to rotate. So the matchup you wanted on anyone changes. And we're seeing both teams create those opportunities here, especially later in the game. They're going to have to keep the foul trouble. This is where breakdowns are going to happen. Fans are going to go, that was like us.
I think they just got something free, didn't they?
They did.
0 for 2. Trip to the line for Jones. Lindsay for 3. Rattles out. Fuller for Saskatoon. Fuller drives. Nice little screen set by Bediako. Really opened up the lane. Mamba grown the lead to 8 now. Late in this third quarter. Donald driving. Tied up by Dunn Martin. What's the call? Jump ball.
So that'll be Mamba ball coming out of here.
Right. Because they have the possession arrow going their way. Plenty of changes for the Mamba. Williams comes on, so does Chaplin. Dunn Martin is going to go to the bench. Meanwhile, King back on the floor for the Stingers, in for McCoy. McCoy still trying to learn the systems, I think, a little bit. Again, he's only been with the team now since the 23rd.
Absolutely.
So get him in a little bit here and there, get adjusted. Mahadi for Saskatoon. Kicks that one out to Williams, blocked. Lindsay comes right back to Williams. Oh, scoop to the hoop, nifty finish. Didn't give up on that play.
No, not at all.
It's a 10-point lead now for the Mamba. Rooms short. Saskatoon trying to stretch it late in the third. Williams up. He's going to get his own rebound, kick it out to Townsend. Williams again. Mahadi, oh, that's clever. Great dribbling. Broke down the defender and put it in. Mohamed Mahadi. Timeout taken by Jordan Baker and the Stingers as this lead has ballooned. It is now 78-66, Dave.
And you can see some very experienced veteran presence from the Mamba because they get an offensive rebound. Instead, you could have just turned around and put that right back up. So, no, we're going to kick it out. We're going to take a few more seconds off the clock. We're going to get the matchup we want. And then they get a wide open layup on the other side of the floor. That's that. You can tell they've done practice reps. They want to play with the lead. Exactly. And the Stingers are scrambling right now. They're trying to put extra pressure on. They need turnovers or they need bad shots. It can be rebounds and get out and run to try to squeeze this gap.
It's kind of a precarious moment in the game for the Stingers, isn't it? They've let it get away a little bit here. Love to get out of this quarter.
Your best case scenario here is that you're at a 9-point deficit going into the fourth. 9 also being target score.
Right.
So, I mean, you're doubling that if you keep the margin into the fourth quarter. Worst case scenario is a turnover, and maybe you're down 15, which would be nightmarish going into the fourth at this point when you're fighting for a playoff lead.
Saskatoon quick back on the floor out of the timeout. Stingers taking every single second they can to get a little bit of extra coaching. And I think Sarah Ryan's got something for us out of that Stingers huddle.
Yeah, Coach Baker maybe changing tactics here mid-game. Early, when we talked pre-game, he was talking about quick transition plays. Now he's telling his team to let the plays develop, to take their time, move the ball side to side, do the plays that they've drawn up rather than just chucking it up. There's been quite a few turnovers.
5 seconds in the quarter. Boursier, Hornsby, fakes. Now he lets a little runner go. It will not drop, and the Mamba lead by 12. After 3 quarters of play. 78-66 is the score. What a great third quarter from the visitors as they take control of this game. Fourth quarter action coming up in a couple of minutes right here. You're watching CEBL Basketball Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Welcome back to Edmonton, the Alberta capital. Now time for the cruise of the game presented by Cal Tire. And it is this steal right there by Baz Davis Jr. and then the big one-handed finish. That is your cruise of the game presented by Cal Tire. Fourth quarter just about to begin, and it is the Mamba up by a dozen here in Edmonton over the Stingers. Grayson Knudsen, Dave Rebuke, pardon me, and Sarah Ryan here with you. Boursier in some trouble.
Stingers racked up 8 turnovers in that third quarter to the Mamba's 5, and are now down by 12. That math gets pretty simple.
Just giving it away too much. Nuga misses the first shot of the quarter. Now driving and finishing strong was Jameer Chaplin. Not a ton from him today, but that was impressive. Here's Hornsby. Hornsby, well, we've seen him do a lot. That was nice as well. Nick Hornsby. Chaplin, Williams. Fuller thought about the 3. Townsend. Mahadi trying to break down Boursier. Mahadi lays it up. Boursier did pretty well. Davis gets the rebound.
Thought he had him on skates for a second there, but Boursier recovered, and it ended up being advantage Stingers off that one.
Corner 3 for King. A little bit short, and the rebound is claimed by the Mamba. Here's Jamal Fuller. It's a handoff from Chaplin. Fuller all the way, a little out of control. Did he step on the sideline? We've got a foul called here.
I don't know if you could hear the fans, but Edmonton Stingers fans, of course, very knowledgeable about the games, and they are now yelling, "Stop taking threes," to your point earlier, Grayson, of threes not really dropping for Edmonton.
Still struggling from deep through 3 quarters. They were 5 of 23 as that is put in 2, stretching the lead to the biggest it's been, 14 for the visitors.
Great execution on that out-of-bounds play. You can see a little miscommunication there. Really well done by the Mamba.
Davis trying to drive, no way through at the other end. Good defense by King. Or do we have a foul? One official's pointing Edmonton's way, the other says a foul. So they get together and discuss.
This foul is going to go against the Mamba. Looking at the player reactions.
Coach Fox is looking for an explanation as well. One of those bang-bang plays, it happens so fast. One referee sees it from this way, another sees it from this way. Let's see what we can see.
Did he get the ball? Action as he's falling out of bounds. There's an arm, or an elbow, or
it's a common foul they've called on Jameer Chaplin for that swing of the elbow, so it is foul on Green.
We're all over here wondering who's the foul against. They're over there going, is that a common foul?
Yeah, right.
They had it right away.
Donald brings the ball over the half line. Hands off for Hornsby. Scotty Lindsay hasn't really been able to figure out a way to get it going today. Fourth quarter time, perhaps, not that time. Mahadi for Saskatoon. He's from Saskatoon, plays at the U of S. They've given the ball away here, though. Hornsby, Donald! And that'll go. Mahadi almost back to block it. So a stop and a score for Edmonton. They'll need that a few more times here in this fourth quarter. Williams, Fuller, driving. Fuller, one hand, flipped it up, got it to go, and the foul. Jamal Fuller.
Foul on Lindsay.
It's only his third, but again, he just really came out of the gates with those 2 quick fouls in the first and has kind of scuttled ever since.
So hard to get your momentum back. Just get back into the flow of the game and the field.
Fuller completes the 3-point play. It is a 15-point lead for the Mamba. Hornsby, nice, give and go. Donald! Excellent play run there by the Stingers.
When you've got a wielding and high-skilled passer in that high post, which they have in Hornsby. You can get some great
Hornsby to Davis. He couldn't dance along the end line there. A little bit too far in front of him. Got the turnover they were looking for. Tried to go in transition, but couldn't quite get it to work, as this is almost a full line change here for the Mamba. As Bediako, Jones, Dunmartin, Bandu all back on the floor. Williams too, rounding out the 5. Tavian Dunmartin. Bounces to Tevian Jones.
Coach Fox working with that energy. You wouldn't know if he's up or down on the team right now. He's doing work on his bench.
The intensity remains.
Yes.
Another turnover here. Davis going to the bucket, blocked. Bediako took it away. Dunmartin now.
This is where it gets dangerous for any team right now, right? You're taking some chances, maybe gripping that egg a little hard. And if you're not careful, this thing will slip away from you because you're second guessing what happened at one end while the ball's flying over your head, headed the other way.
Bandu tried to go for a piggyback ride, going for that rebound, so he gets called for a foul. It's his second. Donald. Davis. Driving, Davis right by Bediako and finishes with the left.
Great finish with the left and shielding the ball, shielding Bediako away with his body there to get that finish.
Bediako underneath, in some trouble, found Dunmartin, cleared the lane. 7 to shoot, Jones for 3, off the backboard, and they got the foul. On the follow through, they just clipped his arm, and so that'll be 3 shots for Jones.
I know he's over there arguing the classic hand is part of the ball, but he got a good portion of the arm there as well.
Next games for these two teams, beginning on the road, the Saskatoon Mamba. They're off to Winnipeg Tuesday, a quick turnaround at the Canada Life Centre against those Sea Bears and former MVP Teddy Allen. 7 p.m. Central, 6 o'clock Mountain Time if you're watching in Saskatoon on Tuesday, June 30th. The Stingers, well, they've got a Canada Day showdown against the Calgary Surge. That will be at 4 o'clock Mountain Time on Wednesday, Canada Day, second installment of the Battle of Alberta this season. The first one went in Red Deer, as Lindsay fires from deep and he hits. 88-77, 5:44 to go. Williams pulls up and hits the fade. Nice little baseline move there.
And they can't afford, the team behind right now, it happens to be Edmonton, can't afford to just trade baskets. Their coaching staff has to be looking at the clock going, minute 25 to potential target score time. We need to cut this margin.
What a rebound from Hornsby. And he went back up and got the friendly roll.
What a battle. And he's looking, going, how do I not get an and one out of all of that contact?
Bandu. Jones. Halfway through the 4th. Up top for Bandu again. Screen from Bediako. Bandu, that's short. Hornsby's got the rebound. Good defense again by the Stingers. Can they go on offense? Bandumel. Hornsby hesitated, then took and hit the 3. And we want the timeout. Coach Fox immediately points to the scorer's table and says, we need to stop. It's 90-82. As the Mamba have seen their once 15-point lead cut about in half, down to 8 points here. David, looks like the Stingers are starting to figure it out. They're getting a couple stops, which is leading to the offense. It felt like when they were sputtering in the 3rd, they weren't getting those stops. Taking the ball from under the basket is a little bit trickier than going in transition.
They are. They're starting to get that part of it figured out. The Mamba have stalled a little bit, or the Stingers are playing great defense either way. But the bigger piece of the equation here on the offensive end is Nick Hornsby. Again, a little mini 5-point Nick Hornsby run. He thinks it probably should have been 6 points.
Yeah.
Foul in there somewhere. But he's doing a great job as a leader of this team, saying, okay, we got to see the ball going. We got to get some scores. We got to cut the margin. Here we go. So now we got a timeout. We're getting closer to target score time. Edmonton's goal is to get this margin as tight as possible going to the target score. And then he just got to play.
What's Coach Fox saying at this timeout?
He's referring to getting their heads up above their shoulders again and looking around and go, look, get your chest back up. We had a lead. Here's the things we were doing well to get that lead. So now we got to go back to those things. We got to look after the ball a little better. We've got to close out on players. We've got to get the ball back into the paint to get an attack.
Players retaking their spots on the floor. 4:42 to go in the fourth. Again, we're just a few seconds away from target score time here. And Donald poked it free. He was hoping that he got the bounce off the arm of Dunn Martin, but did not. And some full court pressure being applied here by the Stingers on this inbounds play.
And on Wednesday, we saw a little 2-2-1 out of the Stingers to try to slow the Mamba down. We haven't seen a lot of that tonight. This full court pressure's, again, a new wrinkle.
Jones, the whistle is a little late, but he does get it, and he'll go to the line for a couple more. That foul is on Scotty Lindsay. That's his fourth. Crowd doesn't like it. I think they didn't like the lateness of the whistle. Jones makes the first.
And I'm sure the officials would never admit that to the home crowd. But you know what? Maybe I don't call that. Depending on how it finishes. Give me a second here to think about this.
Gotta replay it a little bit in your head. What did I exactly see?
What did I see and what did I think I see? They're usually two completely different things.
That's a good point. Here's a three from Bandamel. Or the Stingers gonna just start chucking threes. That's not exactly a great game plan. Allows the Mamba to run. Williams up and under. Back to 12 this lead. Donald, nice find. Ormsby had way more time than he thought. Able to go up and under around Bediako.
He's had some up and unders and reverse finishes and very creative around the rim the last couple of games.
Dunn Martin driving, lane opens up, and Dunn Martin finishes.
And there's that breakdown to cause the layup.
And a timeout's going to be taken here, I think, by Coach Baker. And it is 96-84. 3:42 to go. It is target score time now, as we have to take a break.
Yeah. Smart play by the Mamba to get that foul right away and trigger target score time.
CEBL Basketball Live on CBC Gem, YouTube at CEBL Plus. Be right back.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian news. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
That anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big times. He is cooking.
We've busted out the calculators and added 9 to 96 and come up with our target score of 105 here today in Edmonton. 12-point lead for the Mamba. The Stingers, Dave, haven't had a ton of success when they're trailing going into target score time.
They are not. They are 0-6 on the season when trailing going into target score times. So they've got to break a pattern here if they want to win in front of their home fans.
We've seen some interesting play in target score time. It looks like a 12-point lead, just score 9 more points seems easy, but how many times have we seen the team trailing come back, and if not win it, at least make it interesting?
It's an exciting way to finish a game.
Yep.
Trying to play it out. And we've seen some pretty historic target score time finishes.
Yep. Donalds gets the scoring started. Things open up. Dunmartin now. Mediaco setting the screen. He'll roll to the bucket. Williams. Lindsay guarding with 4 fouls. Donald. Now it's Jones. Jones straight away 3. Can't hit. Banjamel grabs the board. Manuel Banjamel all the way. And that layup will drop. Edmonton finding success driving to the bucket at the moment. Lead back down to 8. And it's going to be Edmonton ball again. We've got an off-ball illegal screen.
Well, for the Edmonton Stinger fans, you couldn't have hoped for a better start to target score time. And to Sarah's point, Stingers evidently listening to their fans and taking some layups instead of some threes.
I didn't realize they were piping the broadcast feed into the huddle. As Donald leaves it for the roller Banjamel. Banjamel, pretty smooth, over top of Fuller, lead down to 6. Good run here for the Stingers. Cut a 12-point lead in half, and they've stolen it again. Here's Scotty Lindsay, all the way, and Lindsay too strong. Donald follows up, another chance, and we got a foul here. No bucket, but we do have free throws for Tay Donald.
Timeout for the Mamba coming here, I think.
Is that the coach in you wanting to call one, or did Coach Fox take what he did?
Yes.
Yes is the answer to both, I guess. 96-90. Why don't we see a look at the replay and what has been leading to the success for the Stingers in target time so far?
Well, they've changed their action in baseball terms. They quit going with the fastball. They're starting to throw some breaking stuff, right? They've changed their attack. They're going to the rim now. They're getting to the key. In the third and fourth quarter, we would have seen that player looking to kick one to the corner, right? Shoot another 3. They're like, no, let's just go to the rim and attack. And the player's like, oh, gee, I got to deal with this now. And it changes your rhythm. And then it puts a little doubt in your head defensively.
Coach Fox, what is he going over in this huddle? He's seen his lead cut in half, down to 6 again. And it feels like an Edmonton team that's getting a little bit of momentum with this home crowd.
Absolutely. Uncle Mo's in the building right now for Edmonton. He's over there. He's been screaming at his team to get back defensively. So he's in there talking right now about defensive transition and guarding the paint. We'll let him shoot a 3 because we prove it. That's probably a good effort for us. So he's screaming at his guys to get in and guard the paint, take away those layups. At the offensive end, they ran some really good actions where they get the ball to the wing and guys can attack and get to the rim, and they've gone away from that completely in target score time. So we could expect to see that kind of wing handoff attack action a little bit here from the Mamba and guard the paint and force them to spray it a bit.
Let's hear from Sarah.
As you might expect in that timeout, Coach Fox just telling the Mamba, calm down. Don't let them get any quick transition. Get back, mark up, and breathe.
Thanks, Sarah. Yes, they are still the team that is in control here. Might not feel like it, but they are the ones with the lead as Donald makes the first of 2 free throws. Donald to make it an 8-0 run to start target score time for the Stingers. Team in green needs a bucket. Something to slow the momentum. Dunmartin. He'll drive. Dunmartin up and under. Clever finish. Wow.
It's similar to Hornsby. Dunmartin gives them that one, right? That we saw the ball go in now. We can all just relax.
Lindsay's 3 just rimmed out. Would not drop. Now it's stolen away. Here's Banjamel to the hoop and throws it down. Emmanuel Banjamel Now back down to a 4-point game. And our target's 105. Looks like Jalen Williams is getting ready to check back in. Dunn Martin kicks it out. Fuller looking for the three. Now he drives. Fuller! No, wave it off. He wrapped his arm around the defender on his way to the bucket. Or at least that's the ruling.
It's a great move in men's league.
This works Sunday nights at the Y?
It absolutely does. Right there.
There's a little push with the off arm.
Some of that is an adjustment in the rules in the last year or so, and point of emphasis about keep your arms inside the vehicle at all times, and not get out and try to create that space, right? And I think that's what that official saw in that position.
Let's see if Edmonton can cut a little bit further into this lead. As Davis Jr. Great first half, a little bit slower here in the second half. Can he find it again? Bandemel for a three. That's well off the mark. Rebound underneath, being fought for. Fuller comes away with it. Great effort for Fuller. He gets out and runs. Had it knocked away. Ball stays with Saskatoon.
And you don't know who the advantage is here for, because you would say live ball turnover, Stingers stop the play, they can reset their defense, but now you're also giving the Mamba a chance to execute.
Williams has it up top. Bandu. Back out to Williams for three. Off the rim, rebound Hornsby. Looking up ahead, decides to slow things down with Bandemel. Bandemel spinning. Out to Donald, one more pass for Davis. Opens up a shooting lane. Shorts, Bandemel, tipped the rebound to Hornsby. Dished off to Davis, big block by Williams underneath. There was a lot going on there. Saskatoon come away with the ball. Bandu driving, Donald fouled him, and one! Bandu!
That's a great veteran move by Bandu. He felt that bump and went right up into his shooting action. Off balance, the officials really have no choice. He dislodged you, he took you off the line, he bumped you, whatever language you want to use. It just a great veteran play. Feels the contact, up into the shot. Really well done.
Edmonton had a run here of 10-2 in target time. That's been broken. Bandu hoping to get the Mamba within 4 of the targets. And he will do just that. Stingers still 11 away. Hornsby up top. Donald. King sets a screen, rolls off, drives to the net, and we have a foul.
I think it's an offensive.
I think it is an offensive foul on King. Good work. Trey Townsend underneath. So Saskatoon will get the ball. Dunn Martin. Mamba 4 points away from a victory.
This has been a fun matchup to watch. Tay Donald and Dunn Martin.
And Donald wins this one, stealing it away. Leaves it for King. Throw it down hard, big fella. We have a timeout. Fox runs onto the floor. He is mad.
Fox taking full advantage of the timeout to express his opinion to the official. I think his complaint is that Tay Donald used a very similar arm technique to what was called on the Mamba on that score, saying he basically pulled him back or held him off on that on a loose ball.
He's looking for consistency.
Yeah, that's the word we all love to use as coaches. Hey, how about some consistency?
101-96 is the score. Again, we're aiming for 105 here at the Hive in Edmonton. What a game this has been between these two teams. Saskatoon has been in control for much of the second half. A good push here by Edmonton, and target score time has made it interesting once again. As the Mamba look to repay the favor. It was a Stinger victory on the road on Thursday in Saskatoon. Mamba would love to even up the season series by getting a road win of their own.
And in getting that road win, put a little more downward pressure on Edmonton. You start to look at that path to the playoffs.
Right, absolutely. It would improve Saskatoon. They would go to 7-6. Stingers would drop to 4-8, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go, back underway. And it's going to be Dunmartin. Get Donald watching closely. Dunmartin drives, dishes, and Fuller couldn't handle it. It's going to be Edmonton ball. Good defense once again.
You can hear Coach Fox. You don't have time to argue. Get back, play some defense.
Donald, King, Hornsby. Couple switches. Here's Bandamel now. Into the lane, kicks it out. Davis. Davis for three, got it! 101.99. What a big bucket. That was Davis Jr.
They sold them the whole seat, but they're only using the edge of it right now. This is a great target score.
Dunmartin, little help from Townsend to open up some room. Dunmartin, little short, King with the rebound, pushed up ahead. Here's Hornsby. Oh, good patience. 101. First team to get 4 points is going to win. Bandamel facing up. Here's Williams.
Switch that action.
Can Williams take advantage of Bandamel? Drives hard, foul. Williams will go to the line.
Yeah, he got a little hug there with his off arm.
Able to take advantage of that switch. Drove on Bandamel and drew that foul. Williams will go to the line. And I think Bandamel, is that foul number 5? It is. He is done.
So someone who's a key part of this run in target score time.
Mason Boursier comes in. Bandamel was good on both ends during this target score run. Crowd's going to get loud now to try to throw Williams off.
Hornsby down on the block, reminding the crowd that this is what's let that out.
Cool as you like. The first one's made. Jalen Williams out of Georgia, played collegiately at Auburn. For the time with the G League Stockton Kings. Made them both. Saskatoon can win the game with a bucket. Stingers need 4 points. Hornsby, King working the post, and King is fouled. He's going to go to the line for a couple. This is the little chess match you get into super late in target score time, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You're hunting matchups at this point. Sounds like they got a question at the table.
Fuller committed the foul. It was his 4th. And just before King's free throws, they're going to get the explanation.
Clarification needed at the table on something, or so they're just meeting. This is unfortunate for the free throw shooter.
Sit and get a little bit cold now, yeah. Like they've got everything sorted out now, and it will be Trey King with a couple from the line. Missed the first. And King will make the second. Mamba can win it with a basket here on this possession. Bandu. Donald all over him. Look at the defense from Donald, knocked it away. Donald comes up with a steal. He was fouled. Tay Donald got that dog in him.
Coach Baker's looking for the
take foul.
The take foul because of the position officials were pretty quick and pretty clear that it's a common foul. He's actually shaking him off now. Troy Eager's looking at him going, no, we're not even having this talk.
I take foul would have been real harsh, I think there. I understand the argument, but
a number of times as a coach, you get your fishing gear out and just go looking for one. It's part
it might not work this time, but it might work next time.
I've planted a seed here.
Big free throws. Donald misses the first. Edmonton could have 104 now if they made their free throws, and this would be for the win.
Looks like the Stingers are talking about some stunting on the rebounding here. Things that we practice as the season goes on. Situations like this, do we do a little cross stunt, or what do you do in free throw situations? Who do you want where? And these are all the little nuancy things that can come back and win you some games.
Donald makes the second. 103. Next bucket wins. How about that? Stingers have come back from 12 down in target score time. Do they have one more stop and score? Dunmartin for the win! Missed it! Rebound to Davis.
Stinger fans are loving this.
Hornsby, Boursier, Davis, driving, up high, got it! Stingers win! Stingers win! They come all the way back! Baz Davis Jr. What a finish!
What a finish to the game, and what a finish on that score. That high off the glass, with pressure on his body. That's a high level of skill.
Well, we talked about it. How often have we seen in target time? It looks like one team is in control, the other team takes over. Just get that little spark, and it ignites a fire.
And they basically had to put together two significant runs to make this happen. And you knew, as soon as the ball went through the hoop, Coach Fox had already walked out to go shake hands. What do you do?
Knew that that was it. 12-point comeback for the Stingers. What a big victory here for Edmonton. Outstanding performance. Nick Hornsby led the way, of course. Tay Donald's defense during that target score time, beg your pardon, was paramount.
21-7 run for the Stingers in target score time.
Unbelievable. I was trying to do the math while I was talking, and it wasn't working very well. Thanks for bailing me out. Appreciate that. What a big win for Edmonton. That improves their record to 5-7. Saskatoon drops to 6-7 on the year. So that is huge for Edmonton. When you talk about that playoff race, this drags the Mamba back down into the catchable range for Edmonton.
It certainly does. It puts, as Bobby Knight used to say, it puts Edmonton in position to get into position.
Looks like Sarah is now joined by our Booster Juice players of the game. Nick Hornsby's there, Baz Davis Jr. as well. Sarah, to you.
That's right. We've had two players of the game today, actually, Grayson, because Nick Hornsby, 30 points on the night, but that final play. Can you talk us through that?
My teammates tell me to be aggressive all the time. They know I can make plays, they know I can basketball and all that, but when it's crunch time, it's crunch time. We fought back to win, hard-fought win in front of the home crowd. It's been a minute, so we needed that one.
Talk to me about that crowd. You were in it all game. Talk to me about how you were feeding off them. They were standing in the first quarter already for some of your plays.
I'm passionate about basketball. I came a long way. God brought me a long way in this game. So the crowd was just an addition to my passion. I'm always passionate, and it's never negative. It's always passion.
Also, we have to talk to you, Nick. You have 8 rebounds today. You are now the Stingers' all-time rebound leader. How does that feel? That's a huge milestone.
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. Shout out to the team for allowing me to be here, and also Baker. So it's been great. I'm happy to be able to get that in.
A huge comeback in target time for your team. What does that say about where you're at this point in the season?
Man, it just shows our heart. It shows our compete level. Things haven't been going great, but that's part of basketball. and it just shows that we aren't here to give up and just trash the game. So until that buzzer sounds, we're going to keep going.
Excellent. Also, fantastic chemistry today on defense. I think you guys were really crushing it. Can you talk to me about how you were able to shut them down? You went on quite a stretch at the end.
Yeah, we start on defense. That's what fuels us from the beginning, and we've been talking about it over the past couple games, and I think it's just slowly but surely getting better, and that's the most important thing for us.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Congratulations on the win. Good luck next game. You are watching CEBL action live from Edmonton on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. We'll be right back.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Score! Big savings on parking at YEG. Use promo code STINGERS to save 20% on airport parking with Jet Set Parking. Affordable parking just minutes from the terminal. Book online at jetsetparking.com/YEG and use code STINGERS to save. Level up your game. Jet Set Parking has partnered with Edmonton International Airport for their new loyalty program, YEG Plus. Jet Set Parking at YEG Plus, a winning way to start your vacation.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca. Next game, just a single game on the CEBL slate for Tuesday as the Saskatoon Mamba continue their road trip. It's a potential playoff preview when they visit Isaiah Osborne and the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Tip-off from the Canada Life Centre is at 7 p.m. Central. That is 6 o'clock Mountain Time if you're watching from Saskatchewan. What a comeback win for the Edmonton Stingers as we welcome you back in here to the Hive. We're getting ready for one of my favorite parts. It's the post-game player autographs. All the players and the fans get together, have a little chat after the game. But what a comeback for Edmonton in this one.
An amazing comeback. As we said, going into target score time, they were 0-6 when trailing going into target score time. So for them to pull out a 21-7 run to lock that in is crazy. And you're right, this is an amazing tradition watching these players that are gassed and tired are going to come back out and sign autographs and greet their fans. This is a fantastic tradition.
It's a win that can certainly propel a team forward, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This has got to give them some swagger, some confidence, or affirm everything they've believed in the locker room over the last couple of weeks, that we are those guys. They just convince themselves, and hopefully in their minds they've sent that message down to the rest of the league. We're those guys.
Quickly, how do the Mamba reset for Tuesday? Quick turnaround.
It's easy. You identify that Jordan Bediako finished with single-digit scoring. You look at the way you played out of your system during target score. It's really easy to go in and make a couple corrections to be ready for the next game.
Awesome. That wraps up our coverage here from the Edmonton Expo Center on behalf of Sarah Ryan, Dave Drabiuk, and our entire crew here in Edmonton, and also those helping remotely. My name is Grayson Knudsen. Thanks for joining us here on CEBL Basketball Live on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus. Until we speak with you again, so long, take care, and good night from Edmonton.
bobbing with the game. Oh, you think this is a game? I came to knock him out the run, 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 knock him out the run with the pep top time for some action.